I was 4 years old when I came here, and it was the winter of 1925.
Yeah.
There was just a sea of mud. There was no roads.
No.
No buildings or anything. And there was a hut that was near the houses, and that was got food in it, providing food, before the other shops and that were built.
All together.
The hotel was the last one to be built.
Yeah.
Because I remember it being built. We lived in Temple Lane then, and the kids used to play under the boards there, you know, in the hotel.
A lot of them come from the outlying districts here for work, and Crittles are very good to the old war, 1940 war people. Them people who lost arms and legs and that, he employed in Silver End. They used to call Silver End the convalescent home. That was so easy. You work more hard, you know. Yeah. Yes, yeah. People with no legs, one arm, one leg, and that, all that. Injured people, they had all them.
Flat roofed houses, looks lovely. But flat roofed houses, no insulation, water tank exposed on the rooftop. Our power, our electricity, which was only DC until 1952, we only had DC. So therefore, you paid your rent of about 8 shillings a week, I think, and that included your electric light.
And I have seen pictures of you in a choir.
Oh yes, church choir, because Mr Davis was a choir master. Mrs Graham played the piano. She made my wedding dress.
Yeah, Mrs Graham.
Prepared us for the choir.
Yes. She prepared you for the choir?
She was the pianist.
Oh, the pianist,
Mr
sorry.
Davis was the conductor.
Right, okay. So was that something you did every year, the Eisteddfod?
Yeah, yes, I think we did it more than once, but I remember that photograph was what with the shield.
Yeah.
We say we won. We sang all it in April evening, so I can remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some things you never forget.
We used to have lovely flower shows in the village. They've all died. They're beautiful flower shows. The chaps used to grow all their stuff on their allotments and that, and they were really good. All the flowers, knitting, cakes and all that kind of thing. Yeah, and that night there'd be a huge dance, a lovely dance all down there, village. And they had a projector there where they filmed, and we used to have little shows on the stage at times, you know, all comedians and that. Yeah, years ago. All that died.
So can you explain what it looked like working in that big
co-op
store? Because it's quite different to what it is now.
It's lovely. You had two entrances, because you've seen pictures of it, haven't you? Yeah. Like you've got all the pillars in front and underneath, where you had a door that end and a door that end, and then you had the big windows which displayed furniture, drapery and whatnot. But as you went in on the right-hand side, going into the co-op, you had the chemist. And then across there you had the offices. Then you went round there and you had the post office. Come round this way, and it was the cake and bread counter. Then the sweet counter. Then the tobacco counter. You had one cash desk there doing all that. Then you just went through a little way and you come to the hardware shop. Mr. Hurry, his name was.
Did he?
No, he was the slowest man. Everybody used to laugh about that. He was so slow. And as you went through his department, you came to the men's drapery, then the ladies' drapery, then you went through the other part, and then you had the provisions, the grocery, the green grocery, and the butchery. It was a lovely shop. It really was. And one thing always sticks in my mind. At Christmas time, in the middle of the shop, like where the draperies, men's drapery and the women's drapery, they had stairs going right up. And that was full of toys. Full of toys all out on the steps. And that all stuck in my mind. Yes.
And Dad came up and woke me up. It was about 12 o'clock at night, and he said the co-op's on fire. And we both went down to see the co-op, and it was a terrific blaze at that time. By the time we got down there, it was well alight, everything was burning, and the firemen were not trying to put it out. They turned all the houses onto the village hall and onto the hotel. And I think that they were just trying at that time to prevent the fires from spreading to those places. It was terrific. I don't know. We only went as far as the roundabout, and you could feel the heat from there. And yeah, I think it was Chelmsford, Coggeshall, Colchester. All the fire engines were there. Crittals had their own, which was a small pump. And I remember as we got down there, the fire was the co-op was well and truly alight, and all these other fire engines were playing water on the other buildings. And as we got down there, a Silver End pump arrived, being pushed and pulled by the retained or part-time firemen from Crittals. And there was a loud cheer went up. Everything will be all right now. Silver End's arriving. But of course, the next day there was nothing of the co-op left. The huge steel girders were twisted like putty, all misshapen. But there was a huge, I remember, there was a huge roll of brown paper in the butchery department that was just singed at the edges. It had not been burnt. There was packets of sugar on the shelves in the grocery department, untouched.
Weird.
But at the other end, where the ironmongery had been, there was a length of galvanised pails that were stacked one inside another. They'd all been welded together by the heat. And the safe had burst open with a door, and there was small change scattered all over the concrete floor. And that's what the heat had done.
Well, then Dad heard about Crittals building this utopian village, as they advertised it, in Silver End, and as it was so near to where he was born, he decided that the family would move here. And we did in 1928. And I was 6 years old. And there was no school then. They planned a school, but it wasn't that then built, not in 28. They eventually finished it in 1929. And I was one of the first pupils in it.
Oh, and remembering in the first years at the school, you know, when I was at school during the war, the tape on the windows, things like that, you remember, which you see in all the Dad's Army films and things like that now, but that's a memory. And also being a bit disappointed at not using the air raid shelters. The air raid shelters, I believe, are still there at the school. I think so. They were the last time I was there. Yeah, that's the air. But I remember my brother saying he used them at the earlier part of the war, but the later part of the war, when the sirens went for a possible raid, we used to have to go and sit in the corridor and carry on with our lessons in the corridor of the school. I never thought that was a very good, well, I don't think it was a very good idea. I suppose then I didn't, you know, I was 6, 7, 8, never thought about what was sensible, but sitting in the corridor of the school when there's air raid shelters outside didn't seem to be a very good idea, but that's where we were anyhow.
So when you moved, you kept your links. Did you continue with the football club, did you, when you moved?
Yeah, oh yeah, I was living here and was still playing at Silver End, yeah. Yeah, it was some good times. We had a good side. Silver End always had a half-decent team. They were, you know, was Coggeshall one of our main rivals.
And when we were very little, I mean, we spent our life in the park. I mean, it was a beautiful park. We spent our lives in there. Yeah, we were just all together all the time.
Yeah. So what did you do in the park?
Well, just played most of the time, but used to chase each other around. When it used to be the lovely quad there, and then we used to have the walkway with all the flowers going over the top, and the pond. I mean, we used to paddle in the pond. We used to all paddle in there, you know. I mean, it was just a done thing. But then we used to have the sandpit and the paddling bit up the top anyway.
Oh, where was that?
What have you got there now? Where the new well, you know where the toilets are?
Yeah.
In front of there. That used to be a sandpit and a little paddling thing. And then you used to climb up the thing what Mr. Criddle brought back from Japan or whatever.
Oh, the pagoda.
Pagoda, that's it, me saying, yeah. We used to climb up there and...
Yeah, I mean, we had bicycles, and we used to go down to Watery Lane and do some fishing with jam jars. And we would go out in the morning on our bikes, and we were never told not to go anywhere. And we must have been very young, and we just went, and we'd go fishing in Watery Lane, and we'd go paddling, and just have a wonderful time. And we're never, where have you been? Or, you know, I wondered where you were, like children today are so closeted. But we had just that freedom to go anywhere we wanted to.